Hello everyone and welcome back to another race here in SLR. I am Horizon and with me is CM Punk. Hello.
Good evening, lads.
Yeah, so today we are going to race in China. What do you expect from China? Like it's a very special track. It's having the most S curves or like the first turn is very special. Could you tell
Yeah,
us something
absolutely.
about it?
Yeah, it's a very difficult track to be absolutely spot on. You have some very difficult moments. And of course, we're going to have that very long straight that creates multiple opportunities for drivers to let their creative side take over, maybe do some irrational moves, perhaps some buffoonery. And that's what we absolutely love to see and hear, some carnage, mayhem, etc. So that could be creating some potential for some good fight. Of course, the drivers championship is not really in the hands of anyone else but Justin Arts. I mean, technically he's not even a world champion quite yet. He might actually complete it today. But yeah, the constructor's title is on the line very much between the V Carps and Aston Martins, and this could be a great race between the only, as of right now, Visa Cash Up RB representative Justin against two Aston Martins, Makander and Jeremy Doku. We'll see which one of those teams will shine through in China.
Yeah, so I see that we are starting to race qualifying now. And let me real quick change the stream to main feed. Yes, it's working perfectly. Amazing. Yeah, so driver getting ready to race here. What do you expect from the from Eversnacks? Like he didn't attend a tier 1 race much last time, or like it's the first time in about a few weeks or something. Do you expect a good pace from him or what? Tell me.
Well, I'm pretty sure he can deliver when he is feeling confident. I'm not sure how well is he feeling here today in China, but definitely it's a driver that you just cannot underestimate. So everybody will have to keep their eyes wide open to look out for any possible threat from his side and everyone else's. As we're about to begin the qualifying session now, it's important to mention that the drivers' championship is still to be won today, and in order for this to happen, basically, if my math is right, Justin Ards, the current championship leader, has to score 10 points, I believe. If he scores 10 points, the championship fight is over. In any other case, if he scores 9 or less, and the second in the championship, McKenna will win the race. He's still in the fight for the title, but basically, Justin scoring 10 points should be enough in here in China, as we have 14 drivers here on the grid with us and 17 minutes worth of qualifying right ahead of us.
Yeah, so let's hop on to Justin real quick. So he's in the RB. Um, yeah, and Icewind joined. Just joined a little bit late. Could cause a little bit of desync if a driver joins in qualifying or in race, which rarely happens. There is a possibility that the server or the host is having some desync and it's gonna affect everyone on the grid. Well, not everyone, it's just some drivers in some moments they are affected, but not every time. But yeah, where's Eversnax? Eversnax in a horse. A horse, yeah, in a horse. He's still in box. Yeah, who is the first one that crosses the finish line? I think it's Meppo. No, it isn't Meppo. Then it should be Lonat. No, it isn't either.
Pretty sure Jamie is now beginning his hot
Oh yeah,
lap and
Jamie.
he will be the first one. Yeah, there he goes, as he's now crossed the line at Alpine. As he's gonna try to find his best way around the track, and Justin will begin his lap right behind him. This is the person we have to keep our eyes open. Where will the drivers' championship leader finish in the qualifying session? As we begin the first round of laps, John Wick has also just begun his quick laps Following him are Basco, Run Cruiser, and couple of more lads who are right behind the corner right now. So the first lap out of couple that you can take here in this track with 15 minutes to go. This is definitely going to be an important qualifying session because there could be a lot of mayhem and carnage heading into this snail-shaped first couple of corners. So you need to be as high on the grid as possible. And I saw Basco in a has just delivered a purple sector 1. Of course, this will be swapped a couple of times. Run Cruiser has already cancelled his lap after going off the track limits, so his first quick lap will be cancelled. Gonna have to save it and prepare for the next one. While Jamie is already heading through the final sector, about to hit the final corners of the first lap, and Justin Arts right behind him. We'll see where will the V-Carb driver Justin finish after his first lap. How good will his first lap be, as Jamie is coming across the finish line any moment now down a final corner, hits the main straight, and he's gonna go, of course, for first position with 130.423. And now where's Justin gonna go? How good is he gonna be? It's gonna be 130.541. It's not beating Jamie, and Justin remains second as of right now. Interesting.
Yeah, also in China there could be, in the last season, Basco and Smelto did many questionable things, but it paid off. They gave each other Slipstream, and in China it's very, it like affects the whole position. If someone gives you a Slipstream on the main grade straight, you can make like 3/10 or something.
Yellow flags from Aston Martin. What is that about? It's probably an empty cans of fuel, as we have Jamie still being the fastest man in this qualifying session after some guys have put the times on the board. We got Williams driver Tanas going second, we got John Wick in fourth, Meepo in fifth, Bosco in sixth, and there he goes. Christian going for P1 at the moment, beating Jamie's time by quite a bit, going 1:32.87, so that's a great time for the McLaren. You mentioned the possibility of helping your teammate with Slipstream here in China. Aston Martins should definitely consider this because they are fighting V-Carbs Justin for the constructors title, and this right here could be the case for them. If they cooperate well and they help each other a lot, they could be benefiting for the whole team, as McAnder makes a horrendous time of 1:47.598. Something must have gone very bad, so
Yeah,
that's basically a lap to be put on the board.
it was, I think he caused the yellow flag. I mean, there is no other reason why he could be so slow. I mean, Markender is one of the fastest drivers in grid, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So there's definitely something wrong going on there.
And
As we have some more times on the board, Run Cruiser goes 6th. We also have Crystals in 10th, Tenari 11th. Now the only drivers without the time are Joel, who is in the pits, Icewind, who has just begun his first hot lap attempt, and Never Snacks coming into the pits after invalidating the lap times. So the first round of laps is basically complete with a couple of exceptions, and it's Christian being the fastest so far, and Justin Hours, the championship leader, sitting at only 4th, you could say, at the moment, which is not the best, but also not the worst from the championship leader.
yeah. So Icewind doing his hot lap now. Let's hop onto him. And there's a little yellow flag. Empty fuel tank, of course. And in front of him is the driver, an Alpine. Is he going? Yeah, he's leaving the space. So Icewind having clean air in front of him. No, not. Ooh. There is an Aston Martin. I think that could be Markender. Yeah, it is Markender. And maybe he's sucking all that slipstream and he's going to fly to the top of the grid. Maybe it's too much. Yeah, okay, no. He's not going for the slipstream. Well, I would if I be in that car. If I would be in a car. And yeah, sorry. Icewind in a few last corners in the hairpin. Reaching a good exit through. He goes through the last turn, and what time is he setting? We will see in a second. And he's only a 132, yeah, 32.8.
Yeah. Something must have not clicked for the Red Bull driver as he finishes at the very bottom at the moment of drivers with the times on the board. Joel has now begun the work on his quick lap as he still didn't put the time on the scoreboard. In the meantime, Jamie is on an out lap as well as Justin Ards. So most of the drivers are still in the pits. Makender P10 at the moment with 131.551. Not a single driver yet has managed to go underneath 130. Closest man is, of course, Christian. We'll see if anybody can improve enough to achieve this kind of accomplishment as Joel is heading for the second sector of his first quick lap that could actually count here in China with 10 minutes left to go here in the qualifying session as Joel is about to hit the very, very long straight here on this track as we have some yellow flags in the first sector. That was most likely McLaren letting other drivers through as we have more cars hitting the track for the second round of laps while Joel is still trying to complete his first one as he heads down this very long straight heading into the final sector of this lap. How good can this lap be? Where is Joel gonna go? His teammate Jamie sitting at P2 at the moment. The Alpines are looking strong so far, but Joel has to accommodate for his teammate. Can he do it? From P14, the final corners he goes. Oh, too wide. Wow, much too
Mm,
wide, and it's invalidated. It would have been 132, 240, so this wouldn't be great time also, but it's not going to be any time after making a crucial mistake on the final corner.
and he's giving a huge amount of space. Yeah, of course, through the little snail. There's just the drivers using all the space they can get. Yeah, through the left, through the right they goes. And Jamie doing another. Oh yeah, almost finishing his next hot lap. A little bit of wheel spin on the hairpin of the exit of the hairpin, and a little slide on the last turn, and he's stopping his hot lap for yeah, for a good reason.
Yeah,
So
absolutely not the best one from him.
he's not. Oh, Tonari's getting disqualified for turning in the wrong direction. What the hell?
How do you achieve that? Perhaps some kind of spin, but nonetheless, the rules are the rules, no matter how stupid they are. And Tenari, after being back from 2 weeks hiatus after breaking his wheel, not the best comeback you would expect as he's disqualified from the qualifying session. Here in China, he's going to start at the very back of the grid. I was looking at Williams, Tennessee, as he was in a P3 at the moment. He had a purple first sector. The second sector wasn't the best, but he still has the chance to improve once he completes the final sector. In the meantime, Justin Ards, the championship leader, does head into provisional pole, beating Christian time by a very small gap, completing a lap of 130.276. And now all eyes on the Williams and P4 as Tennessee is going to try to fight for at least top two, for at least the front row. Just manages to hold it in the lines. Can he deliver? He does go P2, right ahead of Christian by only
3.
3,000th of a second. What a small gaps those are. And Tennessee from Williams is up into P2 at the moment, with Christian improving on the final sector. So this might be a close, tight fight for a pole position in the front row as the McLaren, alone on the grid today, trying to get the best of anybody here in China. Sitting at P3 at the moment. Can he improve? Just against manages to fit in the line, and he does improve
Oh!
heavily. Great time from Christian as he takes provisional pole position with 130, 130. Great time from the McLaren.
Yeah, great. And in the meantime, Eversnack set his first hot lap with 131.1. It's a decent lap. Well, he told me and we see that he's really confident that he can keep up with those drivers. He told me also yesterday he fought against Christian in a practice race and he kept up.
Hmm,
So yeah.
nice.
And Joel with the only one who didn't set a hot lap so far. Um, anything spectacular happening on the grid? There's a yellow flag, maybe empty fuel tank. Yeah, empty
Yeah,
fuel
most
tanks.
likely. Yeah, we do have at the moment a couple of drivers heading into the pits after their laps have been completed. I can see Sebastian Martin on the track. Mipo is actually done with the first sector. This is, I think it was an in lap. Let's see who is trying to work on his lap time. Got more yellow flags due to fuel. Joel is on an out lap. Just gonna have to wait a bit longer for the final round of laps with only 5 minutes left to go in the qualifying session, which means that this is now or never for everybody who is trying to improve and fight for something more than what they're standing on at the moment. As the Chinese qualifying session is about to be finished and the Grand Prix is up next, with a couple of drivers still being on the track, but most of them already waiting in the pits for the one final round of laps, as Christian sits at the very top, followed by the championship leader Justin Arts, and then Williams, Tennessee, and Jami makes the top four. This is a tight fight between those guys, but it's going to be even better on the final round of laps as Cruiser heading into the pits. We also got Jeremy Doku from Aston Martin also heading into the pits. Behind him are on the track Mipo and Joel. Everybody else also heading into the garage, while we have a first person moving in the garage. That is, I believe, a Mercedes. Let's see. We do have one more driver on the track. That is Icewind in Red Bull, still being on the track, but he invalidated his lap time, so he's gonna have to come into the pits as well. With 4 minutes left to go, the first drivers are appearing on the track for the final set of laps. We already have Eversnacks on an out lap trying to work on his time, and we also have Joel, who is, I believe, right now on a hot lap as he's
Yep,
just starting to burn his ERS.
yep, he is on a hot lap, and um, oof, oh, that was me. Oh, cool. Um, yeah. So Joel on a hot lap on the first for him. Maybe he's setting a good time. Joel was one of the faster drivers in grid, right?
Yeah, I believe he is definitely in the top amongst the other drivers. So yeah, you can never count him out. But I mean, technically, it's one of the better tracks of Eversnacks. At least that's what Ocean Chief is telling us through the info box. But Eversnacks at the moment sitting at P9 in a half. So we'll see if he's gonna be able to improve. Well, he was promising some big things. We'll see if he can deliver those as
So
the
let's
final round of
let's hop onto Joel. Joel going through the last turn. Is he going to make it? Oh no, he bundles in the last turn. A little wiggle, but it's going to affect it. Yes, it has affected him. Only 13th position, 13 RD, I don't know. And also,
Jamie!
Jamie disqualified for blocking. Oh no!
Oh
No,
my
that's such a
god!
blame. Yay!
No.
Like Jamie was giving space for Icewind. No, Joel. Sorry, Joel.
Yeah, he was trying to slow down to allow Joel to complete the lap, and he just wanted to let him through, but he was doing this in the like exit of the pits area, and you can't do it in there. That was absolutely horrendous. So yeah, it's a shame for Jamie. He had the pace. He was definitely going strong, but he's gonna be starting all the way from the bottom. He's not going to participate in the qualifying session no more. He's going to start alongside Tunari, both on DSQ. What was the last time we actually had two disqualifications in one qualifying session in SLR? I'm not sure, but that is definitely a rare sight to see. As the final round of laps is about to begin right now, with Christian being the leader of the session so far, with 130. Time is to beat. 1 minute and 20 seconds left to go in the session. The McLaren will now begin to work on his final lap. Justin already on a quick lap. Same for Williams' Tennessee, the top three who we should be focusing the most right now, with Justin leading the top three on the track. Behind him is a Williams, and then McLaren. We'll see which one of those can improve and which one of those we'll see. And at the top, we have improvement from Tennessee, who makes a purple first sector. Great one from him. But Christian is also improving. This could be a great fight between Williams, V-Carb, and McLaren as they're heading to the second sector.
Yeah, and Ersnack in the meanwhile is setting a better lap than before, 6th position for him. And yeah, let's hop on to Christian. He's going through the second sector. I like the second sector actually because there are so many wide turns and it feels really really fast because sorry, when do you get the opportunity to go full throttle in a turn? There are not many tracks with such type of turns, and he's setting a no, sorry, purple sector 2, and here, no, no slipstream for him. Clean air in
Justin
front of him.
finished second. Justin finished second. Is not going to improve. Tennessee
Oh!
improves. This could be pole position. All in the hands of Christian. Still improving after final sector. It's basically Christian versus Tennessee. Williams versus McLaren. One more straight to go. Can Christian top him on the final straight?
He
Yes, he
can!
can.
Only 3 thousandths of
130.
a second!
Oh my lord. Christian just ahead of him by 3,000th of a second, and he goes on pole position, seemingly untouchable right now, despite Cruiser still bidding on a quick lap. Jeremy Doku still on a quick lap, but I don't think any of those can touch the McLaren. No, Cruiser finishes fourth. Jeremy Doku is still on the run, same as ever. Snacks, there they go, finishing. Snacks demoted back to P9 after the final round of laps are done. Now to P10 after some improvements from Mipo, who goes P6. Doku is still on the final corner, and Basco still going.
Oh!
Jeremy Doku! Huge spin, just gently touching the wall, but that's basically ruined his lap time. He's going to finish 7th at best. We also got Icewind on the final quick lap, but he's going very slowly into a
Um,
pit, so that
okay.
means it's over. Christian from pole, Tennessee from front row, Justin third, and Cruiser closing the second row. Then we have Makender, Mipo, Doku, Crystals, Wick, and Ever Snacks closing the top 10 with Bosco, Joel, Icewind, Jamie, and Tunari. That's how the grid is looking for the race. What a finish of the qualifying session.
Yeah. Sadly, Jamie and Tonari disqualified because of the spaghetti code from EA. Like, there in the next game there has to be an option to turn off specific settings. Like blocking the pit exit has to be turned off,
Yeah.
and well, driving in the wrong direction. I think that's.
I
I mean,
mean,
the game knows.
I'm not sure how it's happened. Maybe it was like a spin and he was trying to back it off. I'm not sure because I saw those things going on. I mean, let's just take a moment to appreciate the gaps between the top three. 3,000th of a second and 3,900. What a difference. It's basically a level of just 0.03 seconds going faster on the throttle. That is insane how those small details can affect your lap. And you are thinking in your head, oh, it was just a small mistake. It's not going to change anything. This can change everything. It's insane to think about. And yeah, the drivers' championship leader starting just from P3, not from pole, not even from the front row. So that's definitely gonna make things spicy. But we'll see where can he finish in the race because that's what matters the most at the end of the day for the championship fight.
Mm.
The Aston Martins will try to put up a fight, of course.
I'm very excited for the race start because the
Yeah.
snail is just amazing for the race start. Everyone is side by side and there are many overtakes happening. I will hand it to you.
All right, I will do my best. We'll see what's gonna happen into the first couple of corners, as there's definitely a lot of space for some great maneuvers and some mistakes to be made here in China as we're finishing loading up the final drivers into the race. The Chinese Grand Prix round, I believe, 10 of this season in Tier 1 of SLR is about to go underway after exciting and tight qualifying session full of drama and full of excitement. We're about to head into the race as we're almost ready to go. Quite not yet, as the game keeps on teasing us. Let us have a showdown.
You're stretching the
I'm
intro of the
trying
race.
so hard, but it's impossible with
You're doing great.
EA not making it easy,
You're doing great.
as EA is building up the tension way too much as of right now.
Yeah. Um. Oh yeah.
There
No.
it is. Finally, as the lights are going red and they're about to be gone, here we go. And it's Christian pulling away from P1. Can he hold the lead into the first corner? I can see a Ferrari trying to sneak up from the outside. Cruiser trying to find some space. Christian holds the lead, followed by Justin and Tennessee under pressure. Here comes Mackinder and Cruiser trying to sandwich him. Who's gonna bet the best of what? Oh, it's so tight. They're not gonna fit all of them, and it's somehow still Tennessee holding on to the P3, but Mackinder is pushing hard on the left with Cruiser hard on the right, and there goes Mackinder up into P3 using the fight between Tennessee and his opponent Cruiser, who were trying to battle it out. Tennessee holds to P3, Mackinder down to P4, John Cruiser down to P7. A lot of position swaps going on as he's attacked by John Wick and Red Bull right now. Cruiser is dropping places horrendously quick, now down to P8, right behind Run Cruiser in a Red Bull, with Christian still holding onto the lead, but Justin is right on his tail. The Drivers' Championship leader will not give anything in here, but he will not attack quite yet, tucking it back. Tennessee is trying to somehow stay in the fight in the top, but the guys in the top two are in the league of their own as they're pulling away, and Justin Arts, using mistake of Christian, gets the job done, and he's now leading the Chinese Grand Prix, followed by Christian, the pole sitter, who is now down to P2. They're gonna go at it, heading into the next corner. Can he somehow survive it? Yes, he can. Justin is gonna be leading the race just after lap 1.
Amazing race start. A free wide, and in the back of the grid there's sorry. There is something happening. Eversnacks lost only one position, and yeah, of course, the forces lap for Justin. But it's gonna change real quick on the next lap, and yeah, is there any... No, there's not a gap forming right now. Oh yes, there's a gap forming. Between Jeremy and Kurun Cruiser, there's also almost a 2-second gap. So the race is the drivers splitting into 2 sections. The front first 5 drivers and the back 10 drivers, and position changes going on. Sorry. Jamie and Meepo switching positions.
Yeah, Jamie, we actually didn't really talk about him on the start, but he's making an amazing job. Remember, he was starting from P14 after being disqualified from the session.
Whoa.
He's now fighting Cruiser for P6. He's doing it brilliantly. Great overtake on the outside, and Jamie in an Alpine from 14th to 6th in just under 2 laps. What a start for Jamie, really sending out the message, as now Meepo is trying to throw a chance to Cruiser as well. Ooh, bumping wheels with Sauber Spicy, but the Williams is not through yet after battling it out, and Jamie is pulling away, trying to hunt down the drivers ahead of him, as Jeremy Loku and Mackinder working hard to stay as close to the V-car as possible, and Tennessee, slip up from the Williams, almost costed him top 3. He's gonna stay behind Christian for now, but Mackinder is right on his tail, as he's now gonna hunt down possible podium, as Justin regains the fastest lap. Cruiser gets a free second time penalty already, just at the beginning of the 3rd lap. Joel hits the pit stop, most likely some kind of damage. And Tennessee really does have a pace in the first sector. Christian, another mistakes from the top boys. This time it's Christian having a slip up, and Tennessee trying to get past him, but couldn't use it just quite yet.
Yeah. And Tunari is also gaining some positions from the back. He started 15, and I believe in F2 he always made last to first, because Tunari is just amazingly fast. And in F2. Did I say tier 2?
No idea, to be honest.
Okay. In F2, he did last to first, and he always got it. And there's a switch between Crystals and Eversnacks. I think Eversnacks is holding the lead. Oh, what? Hello? Thank you.
Hello?
Yeah. Eversnacks taking the lead of this little fight, and in the back there's Icewind with Besco. Also Icewind gaining a position, and in the front row there is Tennessee making making an overtake, and Markender also using the opportunity of the DRS because Christian doesn't have the DRS. He was about 1 second behind him, and Tennessee going wide in the last turn. That could cost him a warning and potentially a penalty in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. And Christian has made a couple of significant mistakes over the past couple of laps, and that put him down to P4. The McLaren is struggling hard as Makander is pushing all that he's got to somehow stay in the fight close to Justin Ards, but he also has the hope for his teammate Jeremy Doku to stay as close as possible to fight him for the for the constructors championship, as the lone wolf of the V-Carb is still leading with 2-second gap over Williams. What's going on in the midfield? Joel hits the pit stops again.
Maybe
We
he's
do have mind.
maybe he's going to little desync. Is he retiring in pit lane? No, what the? Ah, Jesus.
Not sure.
He's changing to mediums?
Ooh, huge mistakes from Crystals in the meantime. He had a big snap up. He almost went out of the way, but he somehow kept it on the track still. That costed him a lot of time, and Tunari, he loves that, but he can't find a way past the Ferrari quite yet, as the Scuderia is defending P10 with all he's got. Tunari, he needs to also watch over his shoulder because John Wick is right behind him, but he focuses on Crystals. First things first, here comes the Mercedes heading into the top 10, and Tunari is welcomed wide open with our arms open into a pointing positions as of right now, breaking very late, but it worked. He's defending off Crystals, and now John Wick will also try to fight the Ferrari driver as Christian is still
Oh,
holding
and a
in to
3 second
top
time
3.
penalty
Ooh.
for John Wick.
Yeah, it's going to cost him a lot of momentum, especially at the ending stages of the race. Justin using the best that he got, absolutely perfectly using the fact that the top the second, third, and fourth driver on the grid are now fighting each other. He is building a gap over his opponents. He's already built half a second over the past lap, while Tennessee is trying to hold off Makander with Christian patiently waiting in the back, and Jeremy Doku somehow still slithering behind Christian, still grasping the DRS and holding on to the top 5, with Jamie sitting 2 seconds behind them, trying to close this gap as soon as possible. Tunari trying to pull away from Crystals, who is still holding on to the DRS, and the slipstream of the Mercedes driver still doesn't want to let him go because he knows once he does, it's over for him. He's sliding heavily again. A couple of drivers struggling with grip here in China, especially Crystals, as he's still slipping through a couple of corners, but he's still fighting for a possible finish in the points.
Yeah, you're saying Crystals, and I'm confused. So yeah, as expected, Mark and Derek going for the move on the main straight because Tennessee just don't have the DRS. And Tunari gained the lead, and there's many position changes happening. Oh, and side by side through the hairpin, Crystals and John Wick going through the last turn, and Crystals holding back. Yeah, if he wouldn't go back, John Wick would push them out because he got to the apex first, and I think it's Icewind. Icewind trying to overtake him on the snail.
Ooh, Cruiser sliding. Cruiser sliding right across the track. There was a bit of contact between him, Meepo, and he was trying to fight alongside the other boys as he's sliding across the corner, and he's now down all the way to the bottom to P13. It's a huge shame for the Kick Sauber, as Meepo is now only focusing on Ever Snacks in P8.
And still, no, not anymore. Side by side, and it's Icewind taking the lead of this fight. Icewind 11th position and Cruiser 12th. Yeah, it was. They were side by side a long time, like a minute or something, or not
Yeah,
quite,
absolutely.
like 30 seconds. It's quite long. So yeah, Aerosnacks gained 2 positions, and in the front there is a position change going. Oh, desync. Tennessee regained the lead of this pack, and also the pack of the drivers start to I don't know how it's called.
Yeah,
To
no
break up a
worry.
bit, many drivers everywhere. Like Joel,
Yeah,
52 seconds behind Basco.
let's
Eh,
go.
I wonder why he changed his tires again to mediums.
Trust the process. We'll just have to wait and find out. Yeah, Justin Arts has built quite a gap already of over 3 seconds ahead of the top four, basically top five, because Jeremy Doku has done quite a nice job of catching up to Christian, and are now going to be fighting. In the meantime, there's a fight in the midfield. Eversnacks has overtaken Meepo for P7 as the Williams gets overtaken by a Haas. Meepo will try to somehow counterattack, but is not possible for him right now as we speak. We also
Mm.
have John Wick still being ahead of Icewind, and Crystals still waiting for a possible mistake of the Red Bulls, as Ferrari has to be patient for a possible attack. Cruiser will try to get back into this fight, but he's now 2 seconds behind Crystals with the penalty. That is harsh for him. Of course, we're going to see some swaps in the drivers in the top, as Tennessee does not have a DRS, so he will swap with McKenna most likely a couple of times, as the DRS is wide open again. But McKenna and Aston Martin doesn't look like he's gonna get the best of the Williams quite about yet. No, he won't, as they head into the corner. Christian, in the meantime, he does wants to have something to do with it, and he will try to fight McKenna, but he fails to overtake the Aston Martin, as McKenna is now going to focus on the Williams, as he does have a DRS. The Williams doesn't. McKenna up into P2. Can Christian make something out of it? No, he cannot. He has to sit back, still at P4, with Jeremy Doku right on his back.
Yeah, I love this. There's much happening. Oh, and John Wick overtook Tonari. Yeah, he. Oh, maybe it's my fault. Do you also have the little these things?
Not too much, honestly. Maybe it's
Yeah.
just your like internet something.
No, my internet is good. Good. Like I don't know, but it doesn't affect that much. It just
Yeah.
the game is trying to tell me there are some position changes going on, but they're not.
Yeah, I think it was Eversnacks and Meepo actually switching positions. Like you mentioned, Wick. I think it was actually Eversnacks and Meepo, because I remember Eversnacks getting ahead of the Williams, and he's now down to 8th. So this might have been that,
Ooh.
as Eversnacks is down to 8. And yeah, like you mentioned, we have a couple of trains going on. We got the train starting from Makender, going through some else. Oh, we have yellow flags, and that is Ron Cruiser, who is again sideways, and he's down to P14. Seems like the race is over for him, unless a miracle can happen. But the Kick Sauber's out of a possible great finish for now, as we have another swap in the top. Tennessee back into P2. We'll see for how long, as Makender is trying to regain the position. Can't do it quite yet. And Jamie is trying to work his best to close the gap to the guys fighting ahead of him, but they are keep on swapping DRS and can't do too much, with John Wick and Tunari now going at it for P9.
Yeah, and maybe there's no switchback. Yeah, Tonari. Whoa!
Oh my god, what are you thinking? It's gonna work? It's gonna work somehow.
Yeah.
Tom
Alright.
Way, ridiculous move, but he make it work.
Oh,
I'm not sure how.
not quite. Tonari is going side by
Ooh.
side through the snail again.
Yeah, but he's gonna have the inside line now. He should be ahead of the Mercedes driver, and he will be. What a scary moment for Wick. Absolutely. I'm not sure if that was actually brave or just stupid, but Wick somehow made that work, and he's now up ahead of Tunari, who is pushed down to P10 again. It's not giving too much for Wick, but it definitely helps his teammate Icewind to stay in the fight for points. Well, Tunari is definitely frustrated. He was already trying to pull away from the Red Bulls, and he's now stuck in an RB sandwich. So he's going to have to sit there for a while again, waiting for some possible DRS moment, with Justin Ards building already over 4.5 seconds worth of gap over his opponents. And it seems like only a miracle or an absolute nightmare can flip the race lead around right now. Just read it as a safety car, because as of right now, Justin is untouchable, as we have some more swaps in the top. McKender and Christian going at it again.
Yeah, but you have to be careful at the hairpin. There, if you don't pay enough attention, you could just get a warning, and if like the races, oh, a little fight is going on in the back. If you just, if it keeps happening, you in future you will get a 3-second time penalty. It's just not a yeah. I just talked about it, but it's not the
Yeah, I
hairpin.
was watching.
It's a different
Yeah.
no. Here.
Oh my God, John Wick! What is going on?
Okay, John Wick. He took something. I don't know what, but he's making some very interesting moves.
Oh,
Like they are
Tenari with the
paying
slip.
off, but they were still quite interesting. Like he pushed his way through the little gap that Tenari left open. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, John Wick is absolutely on crack right now. He's trying so hard to fight for every possible move in every possible scenario where he shouldn't have attack. He does try to attack Tenari, and somehow, some way, most of the times it works. I'm not sure how. It shouldn't. It's paradoxical, but it works. As he's now sliding. Oh, that was a big mistake from John Wick.
Yeah.
This should allow Tenari to finally leave him behind and now focus on the drivers ahead of him, as we now have a moment of peace here in China, as Justin is still leading comfortably. The top 2, 3, 4, and 5 are still patiently driving in a straight line behind each other. Jamie not really closing the gap. Eversnax still with Meepo on his tail.
Yellow
Yellow flag in the
Where?
back, and that was caused
Who is it?
by Joel, who was in the
Joel
back.
again.
Yep, and Crystals is up into P10, overtaking John Wick, who keeps on struggling, but Crystals is not flawless as well, as he just had a moment of his own with a slight slip up, and Icewind overtaking John Wick, who's heading into the pit lane. We'll see if that's a planned stop for the Red Bull driver, as he finally leaves the other guys be. So we'll finally stop seeing those amazing dives all over the place, which is kind of sad, to be honest. And yeah, John Wick making a scheduled pit stop as he puts on a fresh pair of hard compound
And
tires with
oh
one
no,
cruiser. Oh, safety car! He wasn't retiring by his own. What happened there? He crashed on the main straight. How did... What? What happened? What happened to Cruiser?
I don't know.
He crashed somehow on the main straight. We have a safety car. Remember what we were talking about moments ago of only a miracle, quote unquote, safety car can prevent Justin from an easy win. That just happened. We do have a safety car about midway through the race. John Wick has to be fuming. He was just done with the pit stop, so that gave him almost nothing, unless, of course, he can gain positions from other drivers going to the pits right now. But he's so far behind, I don't think he's going to catch up too many positions. Justin still leading, but he's going to have all the pack right behind him. And now let's take a look at the tire situation. Who is going to switch into what compound, as most of the grid are on hard tires. Justin was the only driver on mediums with from top, with Jamie and Six also being on the yellows, and Ever Snacks with Joel. So we'll see how this is going to work out. This is going to work out brilliantly for guys who are now switching. Oh, Christian! Christian made a big mistake heading into the pit lane, and he dropped the position in China in a pit lane. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? I mean, what a great reaction from Tennessee to actually overtake Christian. You just can't make those mistakes right here, right now.
Ooh.
And it was a great reaction from the Williams, who will come out of the pit lane ahead of McLaren.
And
I mean, congratulations to Tennessee. That was a great one from him.
yeah, but Markender on soft, like it's
Ooh.
there's still 16 laps of race left.
Okay.
If you yeah, like 4 laps or 5 laps of safety car, about 10 laps of race left. I don't think the soft's gonna keep up.
I guess it's a kind of gamble. I guess he saw how much quicker Justin was at the times, and he said, alright, F it, screw it, I want to win, so I'll just try to get past everybody as soon as possible on the softs, and then somehow defend, because you will have a DRS later on, and even on bad tires, you can use the DRS in here to close the gaps if you are smart enough and if you are skilled enough. So maybe Makender's logic is just to use softs right now to get past them and then fight with the DRS. It is a way to do it. It's definitely a strategy you could assume someone could pick, but it's definitely a risky one. So we'll see if this gamble will pay off for Makender. When it comes to tire situation for the rest of the grid, we got Justin, Jamie, Eversnax, and John Wick on fresh hards, Makender on softs, and the rest of the grid on fresh mediums. We're down lap 12 of the Chinese Grand Prix, with 3 drivers still yet to catch up to the safety car queue.
Yeah. Joel still 34 seconds behind Basco, behind the back of the grid. No, no, not. It's not even the back of the grid. Like, John Wick is still 6.5 seconds or 6 seconds behind. Behind him is Icewind, and yeah, Joel. Maybe there's no time left to catch up because at a certain amount of laps. I'm confused.
Makander! Oh
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
Makander's coming in! That wasn't a great strategic move. It was a mistake. Most likely a wrong tire choice from Makander, who
that,
has said, I'm not gonna risk it. I give up. He comes into the pits,
yeah,
accepts his own defeat,
yeah.
and he switches tires. I'm not sure if at this point it. Oh, yeah, he actually makes a penalty. Okay. So that wasn't the most ridiculous decision. But still, I'm not sure if actually staying out on these softs would have been a better choice. I mean, in case another safety car would pop out, he would have most likely be a win favorite. But as of right now, well, I'm not sure. Maybe he will convince me otherwise. Maybe he will prove me wrong. As Joel also makes a pit stop visit. So after those shenanigans, we got Justin still in the lead, Tennessee second, Christian closing the podium, Jamie fourth, Jeremy Doku fifth, Eversnax in sixth, Meepo in seventh, Tunari in eighth, Crystals in ninth, Icewind closing the top 10, John Wick right behind him, then Basco, Makander, Joel, and Run Cruiser is no longer with us. Don't worry, he didn't pass away, he just didn't.
Yeah, I said I'm confused because who was Imarkinder returned to the pit lane. Like I was, huh? Didn't he just swap to softs? I mean, it was a hilarious decision because there's still too many laps left. But yeah, it's his own
Hmm.
decision. And what I was trying to say, after a certain amount of laps, the safety car is coming in, regardless if drivers
Yeah.
like Joel
Hmm.
are like 40 seconds behind him, behind the back of the
Yeah,
grid.
exactly. This should be about this lap, so I'm pretty sure we're not gonna wait for Joel in another lap, as basically the whole grid except for Joel is ready to go. So we'll see if it's gonna be in this lap or next lap. Actually, he's still staying out. Justin really pushing hard, trying to force this safety car out of the way, saying, "Move! I want to lead. I want to race again."
Yeah, it's
But
like
the safety
Max
car is
Verstappen.
still going. Yeah, he's not gonna come in yet. So we're actually gonna wait for Joel. I was wrong. We're actually waiting one more lap for Joel. So yeah, it's gonna be lap 15. We're gonna be restarting the race. Justin is gonna be restarting the Grand Prix on harder compound, and those guys on the mediums, well, they're gonna waste at least 3 laps of fresh mediums for going under delta speed. So it's not the best scenario for the fresh medium runners. The fresh hard runners might have it a bit more easier at the ending stages of the race. And we have a comment from Run Cruiser: got stuck on the curb and my car spun to the left. Sorry, guys. Yeah, that is the case, because I was wondering, how do you crash on a long straight? And yeah, that is definitely something that I can see happening. So it's a shame for Cruiser, who is out of the race, and we are still dealing with the safety car. One more lap of it should be about right now. We'll see how things will change in the upcoming moments.
Yeah, for Joel, it's just a miracle, the safety car. But for Justin, it's a nightmare, as you said. And
Yeah,
ooh,
absolutely.
Justin is having some smoke out of his tires. Is he turning to
Ooh,
deep in? What the hell is going on?
no idea.
You see that?
Uh, with Justin?
Yeah, Justin's
Not really,
uh,
to be honest.
oh, safety car in this lap. Safety car in this lap. Okay, Justin is going to restart the race soon. Maybe he's trying to restart on the main straight.
Yeah, we'll see about that. The unspoken hero so far is absolutely the man himself, Jamie. I mean, starting from 15th, he's 4th, and he's right behind the guys fighting for the win, and he's definitely in the fight. Of course, the safety car helped him out a lot, But remember, he was 6th after just, what, 2 laps of
Yeah,
racing
yeah,
since the
yeah.
start. So it's great run for Jammy. If he can make it all the way from the back of the pack to at least a podium, not even saying a win, but a podium, this would have been huge for an Alpine driver, while his teammate is closing the gaps, the pack. So this is an interesting scenario. And yeah, Justin still waiting patiently, so he's gonna wait all the way to the start finish line unless he'll try to sneak it in here. And he does try to go full throttle deep, and there it is. Justin is already through, trying to lose the tail, and he's done quite a good restart as the Williams will be losing a bit of momentum, but he is on a better compound right now. So Tennessee from Williams should be closing the gap towards Justin any moment right now. In the meantime, Jamie has dropped the position. He was overtaken by Jeremy Decoux, and Meepo was overtook Ever Snacks for P6.
Yeah, amazing. Justin, yeah, like, is he gaining time again? I think he is, but nah. Well, it could be quite interesting because he's on hard tires, and the guys behind him are on mediums, so he could have been overtaken. But we will see in the future. And in the back of the grid, Basco and John Wick having a fight together, side by side, but it stops. No, it doesn't stop. It keeps going through sector 2, still side by side. Ugh. John Wick is pushing him almost out of the track, but Basco manages to keep up and gain the little.
Oh, John Wick being actually pushed by Makander, and now John Wick having a scary moment as Makander gains a position, goes up into P12, and will most likely now seem to overtake Basco, who can't do too much to defend himself from the Aston Martin. Justin still holding the lead, but the Williams
Oh my god.
Tennessee can smell the
Oh
win
my god.
from a mile. Oh my god, they're still going at it in the back, aren't they?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Like, I love that they are racing for just for fun. They are gaining no points, but they're just racing for fun, and that's what I love
Actually,
here.
Makander is still in the point range if you include the penalty of ice
Yeah,
wind, so
okay.
there's still a bit of chance, at least for Makander. John Wick is in a way worse situation, but they do have to push all the way through with Busk overtaking John Wick again, so it's a huge fight in the back. And in the top, Justin has the Williams right on his back as Tennessee wants to lead the race so badly, but it just doesn't have enough space for now to get ahead of V car of Justin Awards and Christian waiting patiently behind those guys in McLaren. With Jeremy Decou still up there, Jamie actually dropped over a second, so he won't have a DRS
And
once it's
warning
possible
sector
for him
2.
to open it.
Oh,
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 Eversnax!
Everslex Ben! Oh my god, he was 6th and now he's 14th. Oh my god, that's a huge shame.
Yeah, that's a huge shame for
Ah.
Eversnax as he's down to P14. But let's not count anybody out quite yet, as the race is crazy so far. And here comes Tennessee for the lead of the race. There it is, official. The Williams of Tennessee is leading the Chinese Grand Prix with Justin sent to the second place. And now Christian is setting his eyes on Justin Ards in P2, while Jeremy Doku is still sneaking up behind Christian with Jamie on his back, who actually closed the gap to underneath 1 second. He will have a DRS from his opponents, Jeremy Doku, while Meepo will not. So the top 5 is all about the race win, as the Tennessee is leading us through lap number 17, and Icewind is going ahead of Crystals again.
Yeah. Ah. By the way, sorry for interrupting you recently. I just
No,
saw Eversnack
no
spinning and I
worries.
just had to say it out loud.
Yeah, that's your job.
Okay. Yeah, so let's hop onto a driver and talk a bit about him. I... What? Which one do you choose?
I'm trying to do the same thing, but I'm also looking at Basco, who almost went out of the track after bumping wheels with John Wick. I mean, Tenari is an interesting subject because Jamie was making a comeback from 14th, while Tenari is driving back from 15th, of course. The Tuna Man is still in P7 at the moment. 1.6 is a gap to
Whoa.
close towards Meepo. They're still going at it, aren't they?
Yeah, like
Just keep on doing that.
Jamie is just crazy. But Jamie doesn't have the DRS. Jamie fall back
Yeah,
too
he
much.
dropped out again, and he
Yeah.
only has 20% of battery. Justin back into the lead, and the longer Justin will spend time, the more time he will spend fighting Tennessee 1v1, especially switching places with him. If he doesn't allow the Williams to pull away, the longer they go on for it, it's better for Justin because they're
Yep.
using more tires on this fight, and he has hard compound on right now put on compared to the mediums of basically everybody in there except for Jamie. So the longer this fight goes on right now, it's better for Justin, who will have the advantage on the final couple of laps as Pascal makes a pit stop.
Yeah, maybe he's retiring. Yeah, oh,
Yep,
man. Why is he retiring? Like, didn't he had a chance for points?
I'm not sure. Maybe he was just fed up with it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Justin is so far doing everything he has to do. Then again, fighting alongside other drivers is dangerous for sure, but he has to take that risk after the safety car. So Justin still holding on in there. Tennessee right behind him with Christian still being patient in P3, and Jeremy Doku trying to keep up, trying to stay in the podium fight. Like you mentioned, Jamie, he dropped out of the DRS, and this gap is just keep on getting bigger for him. He definitely doesn't have the pace to go for the win as of right now, but the race is far from over. We still only on lap 18 out of 28 planned, with Meepo being behind Jamie, then Tunari, who is now trying to pull away from Icewind, and another swap in the lead. Justin down to P2 again, and it's gonna be just a constant swap between those two, but this will definitely go down to the wire as the race winner will most likely be decided on the final couple of laps between Justin, Tennessee, Christian, and Jeremy Doku.
Yeah, I'm try to make out the prediction, but I can't actually.
Yeah, it's definitely tough. And we got info from Chief from the chat that John Wick is driving with damage. That would most likely explain his recent issues, as he's now down to P11 with the penalty applied. So he's out of the points for now. Doesn't seem like he's going to be back in the points anytime soon, as we are still going with the very close in top four. Jamie, in the meantime, is dropping even more behind those guys. He's already lost over a second towards the top four. So it seems like the fight for the win is going to go down between Tennessee, Justin, Christian, and Jeremy Doku. I mean, Justin Arts, of course, let's not forget, he's still not technically a driver's champion this season. He has to score at least 10 points, but right now, it doesn't matter if he finishes first, second, third, or fourth, he will easily get those 10 points. So, yeah, Justin's in a comfortable spot. He doesn't have to take risks, but we know every driver wants to win. Nobody wants to be second when you can win, as he was trying to make a move, but he'll back it up for now, waiting patiently behind Tennessee.
Oh, and Christian very, very aggressive on the throttle on the exit of the hairpin. A little spin, and that's setting him back about 3/10 of a second. He, well, he was very brave on the brakes, but yeah. And everyone in the front row is sucking up that slipstream they are giving each other. I like that only. I don't know.
Only what?
Sorry.
Okay, no problem. So yeah, Icewind is closing up towards Tenari. I was actually expecting Tenari to pull away from Icewind, but the Red Bull driver with the penalty applied. Actually, now that I mention it, there's both of them. But yeah, the Icewind is still trying to get past Tenari. He's actually doing a good job of decreasing the gap towards the Mercedes, as he's still fighting for a P7 despite having his penalty applied. And yeah, not too much going on except for the top four being in a tight spot. But now all we have to do is just wait for the final moments of the race or a huge critical error.
Yeah, but most likely they're going to fight at the last on the last stint of the race, like the
Yeah.
last 8 or 4 laps. And Justin is taking. Yeah, Justin tries to overtake him, and then he does. Christian can't overtake him. Justin is defending, but oh, Christian overtook him. So yeah, it's straight on the on China is just so long. You can make
Yeah.
so much of it. If you mess up the corner, the little white turn, you mess up all the
Mhm.
top speed of the main grade straight.
Yeah. I just noticed, I'm not sure what their setups are, but Justin seemed so much quicker on a straight because Christian, while having, I mean, at this point, the advantage from the medium is, if not gone, then very, very marginal. But still, he had that slight advantage from the mediums. He had DRS, and he still, and with some of Slipstream, he still couldn't get past Justin on the straight. So this could be either setup advantage or the fact that those mediums are not giving you any kind of advantage over the hards at this point in the race. And this would mean that Justin from now on will have the advantage. So the perfect timing for Christian, Tennessee, and Doku for possibly going for the win now is seemingly gone. They will have to struggle all the way to the finish line if they want to win the race because you had a chance to make it easy. Now they're gonna have to play rough in order to win the race. As Justin is gonna do all in his power to try to somehow pull away from them.
Yeah, but
It's not gonna be easy.
he's not using any ERS to try to maintain the gap. I think he relies on his pure pace. And let's take a look at the back of the grid. There's Eversnacks with John Wick. Eversnacks, John Wick and Joel having a free free DRS train, and John Wick is gaining the
Sean Wick
lead. John
again.
Wick. Ch-
Do it in his own style. I
yeah.
mean, it somehow works still, but Joel is definitely not a fan of this kind of maneuver, as he also has Eversnacks right on his back. So it's gonna be an interesting fight between those three. As Joel moves to the left, Eversnacks right behind. He's stuck in between those two. Will he go in there? He was
Oh.
thinking about it. He was thinking about it, but he won't. Joel made a
Oh.
huge error, going too wide, coming back onto the track. So John Wick is back into P11 with Snacks being P12 and Joel down to 13th. I saw it in Ever Snacks' eyes under the helmet. He wanted to go in between both of them, but he realized last moment if he will, they will all crash. So he backed off at the
Mhm.
final seconds right before the absolute carnage, which is a good thing for all of them. But yeah, John Wick is still surviving in this fight despite having his penalty, most likely waiting for his opponent's mistake.
Yeah. Not much going on the grid right now. They're just making the laps, doing whatever they want to do. No, okay. I forget what I said. Christian taking the lead of this race so far, but I don't think the mediums can keep up anymore. I think the hards are faster right now.
Yeah, absolutely. The Hearts will give Justin advantage. As you can see, he's already trying to overtake Christian, who is still defending. We got some moves in the back as well. Eversnack's going P11. But yeah, Justin is really gonna have the advantage the longer this race goes on. In the meantime, Icewind makes a move up into P7. He actually overtook Tenari, who is now struggling with the pace because even Makander is closing in on him. In an Aston Martin, he was far behind, but now he's closing the gap towards Tenari and Icewind due to them fighting over a position. While Christian is leading the race, but Justin will most likely retake the lead. Oh, that was a scary moment for Justin. He had a snap of a wheel on a curb, almost going sideways, but he saved it perfectly, and he's still in the fight against Christian with Tennessee and Jeremy Doku. So behind them and
Oh,
Joel.
I'm Joel with a
Hey,
3 second time penalty. So there are only three second time penalties, right? Let me take a look. Details. Yeah, only three second time penalties. But to be fair, it's not hard, but there's not many. What? I just was talking about penalties. Why do you get another one? Icewind.
yep, Icewind just got another one.
Yeah. So
And oof, Tenari
um.
also losing position. Gaining
Yeah.
position, sorry.
It's okay. So Icewind gain is no, not gaining is having another 3 second time penalty. 6 seconds in total, and in the back of the grid, Eversnax is trying to make the lead, but John Wick is gaining a switchback from him. Is he can nah Eversnax okay is gaining the lead of this little fight there.
Yeah,
And
we also fight for
oh,
P7 at
and
the moment. Ooh,
Joel
Joel!
said, "Oh my God, another safety car."
And it's another safety car right before the finish line. Justin must be fuming. He was having the race in his palm 2 times at this point, and it's been taken away from him once again, saying, "Nah, you're gonna have to fight one more time."
Huh?
And Justin just lost the entire advantage he would have because on the final laps he would have had so much more pace advantage due to the tire situation. And I believe Joel must have done the same mistake that Cruiser did because he also retired at the straight, and there's no other way to doing that than what Cruiser did. So must have snapped on a curb and went sideways. Still, it's gonna be an absolute great news for Christian, Tennessee, and Doku. Awful news for Justin, and it's all gonna be restarted. And we're gonna have how many laps of racing? Actually, wait a minute. We're gonna be starting lap 25 with safety cars, so it's gonna be at least 25 and 26.
Yeah.
We need to have at least one lap of racing. So I'm just thinking, is it gonna be one lap of racing or 2 laps of racing? This is gonna be interesting. If it was gonna be, I mean, anyway, they're all gonna have to go for softs. And guess who used a bit of his softs by making a mistake in the pit lane? I mean, I'm not sure if he does have any kind of fresh set. Christian, this time he didn't make a mistake. He didn't give a position coming into the pit lane area. But yeah, still.
Yeah, it will be very intense. Oh my God, another 3 second time penalty.
Come on.
It will be. Oh my God, I'm very excited for the final stint of this race
Yeah.
because everyone is on soft. Everyone is trying to make the
Not
last bit.
everyone. Not everyone. Jeremy Doku and Jamie are both on mediums. What is that about?
I don't know, but
Meepo, what is that about? They used all their softs. Is it possible
maybe,
to use
yeah,
all your softs in the quali? I
yeah,
mean, it
maybe,
is, right?
yeah, but
I'm not sure. I haven't played this game in so long, but still.
yeah. Yeah, everyone is going into the pit lane, and I was trying to say, ah, yeah, I'm very excited also for the clips they send into the top 5 moments because
Oh
we are
yeah.
currently trying to revive the top 5 moments of SLR. Hopefully, enough people sending in something so that I can cut into that into amazing top 5 video, but we will see. We will see. And almost everyone is back at the grid. The safety car will return in this lap for sure. If not in the, if not, yeah, I think the safety car will wait for John Wick and Aerosnex. But it's a great opportunity for John Wick because he had time to repair his wing, or maybe he didn't repair his wing. I don't know. But if he did, he could make up some positions, but you have to keep in mind he does have a 3 second time penalty, so he's not gaining any points here today in China, sadly.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have no info about the safety car coming in this lap, so it's most likely gonna be one more lap with the safety car, I believe, because we didn't have any info prior to that about safety car endings. So if that's gonna be the case, we're gonna have lap 26 under the safety car, and then lap 27 should be the restart with 2 laps of racing to go. It's gonna be most likely Justin Arts, Christian, and Yono Tennessee going for the win, as we have Crystals dropping positions. He's going into the pits. What is that about?
I have no
No
idea.
idea. He was on the soft, so it's
Oh,
not an error of tires.
maybe he's having some front wing damage.
I mean, most likely he's switching to mediums.
What?
Didn't change the wing. Didn't serve any penalty because didn't had any.
The,
No idea what was that about.
the driver's making some questionable moves.
Ocean Chief said that Crystal's softs are already at 14%.
It's
My
only.
man, are you hungry? Are you eating those tires under the safety car? How?
Oh,
They were fresh. They
he
were
used
brand
up
new.
all the soft in qualifying.
Oh my god, I thought they were fresh salts. I mean,
Yeah, maybe.
Jesus. All right. So that's gonna be interesting race to see the ending as Justin. Basically, all he has to do right now is to finish the race with
Hmm.
those 10 points that he will easily get by finishing anywhere near top 5. And he will become officially Drivers' World Champion this season in Tier 1
Yeah.
as Christian is right on his back. And the only hope for Makander is to some kind of incident happen for Justin. Of course, we don't wish it upon anyone.
And
And the
safety car
safety
in
car
the
is going
slab.
to come in.
We
There
will
it
lead.
is.
We still have 11 kilometers of race left. That's about 5.5 mile. That, oh my god, it will be very exciting.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Justin Arts, the man who was starting the race from a bit more behind, is now going to be looking for a possible win, but it's not going to be given easily as Christian will surely have something to say about that. And let's not count out the quiet hero of the race,
Yeah.
Tennessee, who is still in the fight. Yeah, Jamie, of course, is there, but he's on the
um,
mediums
by the
with
way,
Jeremy Decoux.
we both can agree that we going to. Oh, John Wick. We not
John
talk
Wick
about
is
that.
generous in positions.
All right.
There it is, he's back.
I think we both can agree that Jamie's gaining the driver of the day, right?
Hold up, hold up. Tonari is 6th. He was starting from the
Uh,
very back, and he
oh
has a potential
yeah.
to even finish in top 5. So let's hold our horses. Let's
Yeah.
take a look at Justin. He's restarting again in the same spot he did before, and Christian actually fell for it. Look at the gap. Justin made a beautiful restart. Christian all the way in the back. This could have sealed the deal, but Christian will have some of the slipstream. He will have some of the possible moments. Oh, Justin, he made an awful corner right now. Christian closing the gap nicely on that snail as he's trying to close the gap towards Justin, but he's so quick. Justin is so quick. And now it's about what's going to happen for P2 because if Tennessee will start attacking Christian, there's no way they can catch Justin. So Tennessee has to make a choice. Does he fight for P2, giving up a chance for win, or does he follow Christian, hoping for a possible fight for a race win? So far, the Williams is patient, waiting for Christian to actually close the gap to Justin to fight with them for the race win. Jeremy Doku is still there with P4 and Jamie. Tunari looking to pass Jamie to become the MVP of the race, bumping with Jamie a bit. None of them scabbard so far. This is going to be so good. Justin already over second worth of gap. Tennessee, his patience is running low. He doesn't want to wait. He goes to the right side of Christian. He passes him. It's going to be one more lap. And Justin is still leading in China. Can he win this race all the way to the finish line? With Tennessee in second, trying to hunt him down on the final lap. Meepo overtaking Tunari for P6 despite being on worse tires and having a penalty. He's overtaking the Mercedes. And there it is, the final lap of the Chinese Grand Prix. Justin, he's lost so much advantage.
Oh my
Tennessee
god.
is so quick. He
I'm
can actually do it.
I'm freaking out. Oh my god. There is still an opportunity for Tennessee to gain the lead of this race and to take home this race with him. Oh, I'm speechless right now.
Yeah,
Tennessee
Justin.
only 3 tenths
Oh my
behind
god.
him, but Christian 7 tenths behind him. If he gonna make one mistake, there is a potential chance that is going to fall out of the DRS. Only two
Yeah,
tenths left. If he
it's done
bottoms
for
up any,
Christian. It's done for Christian. He can't win this race. The most he can get is
yeah.
podium right now, but he has to focus on defending podium because Doku does have something to say about that, surely. But right now, it's all about the first place. Can Justin hold on? Can he finish the race in P1? Tennessee knows this is his final chance. He will have slipstream on
Oh
this
my god.
amazingly large straight. This is going to go down to the finish line. Justin or Tennessee, and who's going to be on the podium? Doku or Christian? This is going to be great. Here comes Tennessee. Down the inside, around the outside,
Whoa!
down the inside. Just on a march.
Oh my
And he
god.
gets it done. Can he hold on? Is there any space? Jamie, where does he come from? He's going for the podium. He will. Of course he will. Tennessee wins in China. Justin finishing second. Jamie's on a podium.
Oh my
Christian goes
god!
down to fifth.
What
What a
was
finish.
that race? Oh my god, the whole race was amazing. Whew!
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Tanase, he absolutely outplayed Justin with that huge slipstream. There was no DRS, but that slipstream was more than he needed to win the race in style. Justin has to settle for second, but then again, let's not forget, with that result, Justin Arts is officially now crowned as this season's Tier 1 Drivers World Champion. Despite the fact that Tanase has won, Jamie made a huge deal. It is Justin who seals the deal, and he's now officially a world champ. He's done it. He's won the Drivers' Championship this season. Jamie will, of course, pick up a Driver of the Day since going 14th all the way up into the podium. Ridiculous drive. And it's Williams Tanase who wins with fastest lap, picking up 26 points for the pack. Great result for him. The Austins finishing in 4th and 6th, keeping alive the fight for the Constructors' Championship into the final rounds of this season. So yeah, those are the results from China. Absolutely beautiful race.
Yeah, I'm speechless. Like the last two laps were just amazing. Whew. I'm
Yeah,
buff.
that safety car definitely gave us a lot. And you just have to feel bad for Justin. He had the race in his palm 2 times already, and both of those occasions were taken away from him by a safety car that he just had absolutely no uh, power over. But that is the sport, that is Formula One, and things like that will happen. Now we're just gonna wait a bit longer to see if anybody will like to talk with us. I can already see Eversnack's waiting in the booth, so let's not waste any time and let's bring him in.
Yeah, of course. Do you want to handle the interview or do you want to handle it to
Oh,
me?
I can do it if you want me, no problem.
Alright, you're good.
Hello.
Hello there.
So, how was China?
Well, I'll say there were some ups and downs. I'd say I'm very happy with my pace today. I'm quite happy with how the race went. Um, I think I would have actually done better if there hadn't been that late safety car because those softs were just awful. You couldn't drive on those softs. But yeah, except for that one spin, I really can't complain. I'm quite happy about the race, even though the result wasn't there at the end. I know that it could have been, and that's good enough for me.
Okay. Yeah, and I mean, some people are mostly expecting more from you, as you've said that you actually do enjoy China. You're quick around here, so what was that about?
I think I had the pace. I think I was very much quick enough to get some good points today. Then I was just trying to fight people after or stay with people after the first safety car, and I touched the curb on that fast. I think on the left hander I touched the curb, and as soon as you touch that curb, you're just gone. So I lost 10 seconds to that, and then after that I got stuck fighting the other guys in the end. But without that spin, yeah, I think P6, P7 could have been there.
Yeah, absolutely. So that was the race for you here today, and our next race, if I'm looking at the right calendar, we're gonna have Austrian track Red Bull Ring. What do you feel about this one? How do you feel about that?
Well, I don't know. Austria is always one of those weird tracks because there really isn't that much of a difference in time between all the drivers, and it's really hard to shake somebody out of the DRS because there's just not enough corners to get a second away from the other guys. But yeah, I don't feel bad about it. I think I'm okay there. It's not my best track, but
Mhm.
yeah, I'm not dreading the track, not like some others.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so thank you for your time with us, Eversnacks, and good luck next time.
Thank you guys.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
And there he is, the man of the hour. Let's just bring him in. We'll see if he'll respond.
Yeah, hello,
Hello,
Justin.
Hello.
champions of the world. So, how are you feeling after this ridiculous race. And oh yeah, by the way, the fact you're a champion, just a
Mm.
small detail. But how was that race? Because that was huge.
I the entire race was just chaotic. Uh,
Yeah.
went for the alternative strategy, worked out kind of ish with the first safety car timing. I think I could have maybe benefited more without the first safety car, considering I had the 5 second gap, and then plus the undercut maybe would have been, 10 seconds up ahead, like in Mexico. But ifs and buts doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Second safety car, I think I had the perfect restart. Could control my ERS for the final lap, but then ultimately DRS is what got me. But don't really care since three in a row.
Yeah, absolutely. And were you really thinking about that final lap? Because seems like you're gonna have the lead on the final lap. But then again, the slipstream seemed a bit more important. Were you even thinking about this, or you were just like, okay, just finish in the top, get the title, wrap it up, doesn't matter where.
I think, well, ideally, I would have liked to finish first, and I think I even caught myself off guard with how good the restart was because the gap was already a second. But ideally, I would have liked someone to be behind me, and then maybe I could have played some DRS chicken games in the hairpin. But I just committed to it, see if I can keep the gap over a second. But ultimately, I couldn't, and like you said, I just didn't really care where I finished, just as long as I was champion.
Mm-hmm. All right. So yeah, great one from you, great performance. And so, what are your plans up next? You're planning to defend the title. You're planning to get up somewhere else. What are your plans for the future right now?
Maybe see if I can finish out the game in SLR. Why not extend the record for most champions in a row in SLR from 2 to 4? Because why not? It'd be fun.
Absolutely. All right. So again, congratulations on becoming the champion this season. And next up is Austria's Red Bull Ring. How do you feel about this one?
I like the track, but I think for the next 2 races, I'm just gonna go last to first challenge or something along those lines. Have a bit of fun.
Seems fair enough. Absolutely. All right. So thank you for your time and good luck next time.
Thank you guys. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
And that's a wrap of this season's Drivers' Championship battle and amazing China race. But don't quit on tier 1 quite yet, because we're also gonna have a Constructors' Championship battle all the way to the end between the V Carp and Aston Martin. So stick with us and just wait for the final I'm losing a word. I'm missing a word. The final results of every single championship battle, and that would be the wrap of the Chinese Grand Prix. Yep.
Yeah. Um. It. Yeah. It was a spectacular race. Many position changes. The last one was just amazing. I have no words. You might tell, but yeah. As CM Punk also, as Punk also said, we will see you tomorrow. There will be China again on tier 2, where I'm gonna compete in also with my teammate Arisnex. So hopefully I don't bottle up again. But yeah. Do you have anything to add?
Absolutely not. I believe we've said everything we could. So, yeah, thank you
Yeah.
guys from me for today for having us, and hopefully see you guys next time.
Yeah. This is Horizon.